This is part 3. In part 2 I said 2000 Mustang. It's actually a 2017. If you've seen the headlights, they make that body style to 2015, I believe. So it's a 2017 1967 Mustang GT 350 hood scoop reproduction that you can buy from Speedway Motors for 100 and I don't remember, 50, 60 something bucks. And that's the style that I wanted. I want to modify it a little bit, but all the hoods that come on Mustangs, you can buy the aftermarket hoods, the complete hoods. They're, man, are they expensive, and I don't mind a little hard work. It's time consuming, but also they were too gaudy. They're too tall. They came down too far in the front, way down here. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm old school, and you know, it is what it is. But this is after the bodywork's all done, primered, wet sand, block sand, all that good stuff, all by hand. We're talking days total, but it's the way I wanted. I actually made these longer. I'd originally cut them off because they went straight flat, and this hood drops down. This hood contours, curves down a lot, so I had to cut them off. Later refiberglass them back on, and then reinforce that so it wouldn't break. And then I also then made them even longer with short hair filler on these two outside points. You notice it's all blended into in the front to the hood there also. So it's all been primered, wet sand, block sand. It's actually ready for paint, but I will probably, time I get the paint, we'll scuff it up again with 400 or something. There's the back. It curves with the hood, which had to be reshaped also. And I filled in that little tiny seam at the bottom just so it looked one piece. I wanted it to look one piece. I didn't want it to look add-on. And besides, you can't get it perfectly shaped when you're shaping something. You got to do a little filling. I could have filled it to where it looked like it was attached, but I wanted to actually mold it to the hood a little bit. As you can see down through here, oh, by the way, this is part 3 before the paint. But all this is all 3/8 holes wrapped with sandpaper. 120 just to blend that in on a piece of 3/8 hose, and held it straight, and so it made the rounded edge for me perfect. That kind of stuff works pretty good. You can make stuff work. You don't have to buy high dollar stuff all the time. But you had to use the small hose because I wanted to, just a small curve blended into the hood. And of course, the Mustangs have these here. So the hood scoop actually had a flat part to screw it down, which was wider than this originally. And I cut it off right where it came up to the rest of the scoop right down here. And of course, I told you I built the bottom edge and all that, and just bolted and bonded and all that good stuff. And it fit in perfect. So I'm going to paint it. That's the next step. And like I said, the original color, ruby red, is what color this Mustang is. And I'm going to throw some pearl on it because I just want a little extra. And I don't know if I'm going to make it just a stripe. Just a stripe in the middle. I don't know. I'll think more about it once I get all this plastic off and stuff. I've got to order the paint yet. And then, of course, wet sand the rest of the hood here if I just do a stripe. And if I want to blend it clear or clear the whole hood. So I don't know yet. I do have a paint booth. I got 2 things to paint. I've got that to paint, the scoop to paint, the hood to paint. And then I have this to paint. And by the way, this is my 1-car garage where I do the work. I have a bigger garage out there where I keep my hot rods. But anyway, I'm going to paint this too. It works. There is a video on this. Ernie's gas pump is what it's under. I restored this. Numbers didn't work. Now that worked. Made all that work. Watch the video if you're interested. Watch the video. But this is ready. I'm waiting for one hinge. I was missing a hinge to put the left door on. The right door is on. Once I do that, and I'll touch it up a little bit with some fine sandpaper, 400, and shoot it. Top half's going to be blue. Bottom half's going to be an orange pearl. I'm not sure the color of stripe to separate them. I always believe in a stripe. Looks more professional, and there is a globe to go on top and all. It's an orange ring and blue face. It says Ford repair location, Ford service, something like that. I've looked at it one time in the box. It's all in the box, all brand new stuff. This is going to be in the housework in the house. Yes, in my living room in the corner. It'll be plugged in. I have two switches, one to turn the lights on and one to make the numbers work. I have a 12-volt motor with an 110 inverter that powers the 12-volt motor. It turns the numbers at 30 RPMs per minute. Exactly what I wanted. You can get those at different RPMs, but that's what I wanted. It's pretty cool. That'll be in the video when that's done. I've already got a video on it. There'll be a part 2. The part 1 doesn't have the sides and stuff on it because I was working on the numbers. But anyway, that's enough of that. Just wanted to throw that in there. I've got some painting to do. So, a little on the car. It's got these wheels. They're 20 inches. 19's factory. They look big, but Shelby's have 20s, so you know they fit good. There's nice ride. When I bought the car, it had the thin tires, had 22 rims, thin tires. Oh my God, I've bent them so many times. I finally got rid of those. Bought new tires that had more sidewall that fit. Looks perfect. The back is also much deeper. As you can see, like I said, I'm old school. I like a shiny rim. The rest of it, the centers are powder coated. It's easier to clean. The rim is actually a stainless steel insert. Goes over the steel rim, so it never rusts. Worth the money. In the future, the worst thing you'd have to do is repowder coat the centers. But anyway, I also bought some hood turn signals for this. I'm going to put in. That goes in these heat extractors. You can't see, but right under here, the heat extractors. There's turn signals that go in there. I had a '69 Torino that had the factory Mustang scoop on it from the factory because it was a GT, and the lights had turn signals in the back of it. I thought it was so cool when I was a teenager, 17, 18 years old, and I don't know, just thought it was cool. They make them for those heat in the heat extractors. I bought them 120, 30 something bucks. Got to put those in yet. And also, I'm going to put a rear wing on this car, but God, I'm not sure what I want. I like the Roush. I like the GT, aftermarket GT one. It's a wing. The Roush is more of a, what you kind of like, a duck tail, duck lip, whatever you want to call it. But at least it's bigger than the factory. I don't like the factory wing. It's not a wing, just a little duck tail on the back. Just not enough. But I don't like the big, gaudy ones that all the young men buy. That's, I don't know, it's overkill. A little added look and speedy performance look, but not gaudy. So anyway, that's enough of this part 2. Here's this side also, nice and smooth, wet sanded block, no imperfections. So like I said, I started with something and made it taller and reshaped it and did some things to make it what I wanted, because I didn't see anything that I really liked out there on the market. mostly just too gaudy. Or, you know, like the Roush or something that went on with tape, and it was just an opening in the front. It was just kind of like somebody just laid a plate across the center. Yeah, that wasn't much of a, I didn't like that. I wanted something with a little more sportiness to it. Wasn't plain. The other's plain. I did want to, what was the MMD by Foose, but I couldn't get it. So, into this one.